Hello everyone, good morning. Thank you all for joining and welcome again to another webinar brought to you by PLM Central Ltd. My name is Colin and I'm the Support Applications Engineer. We're a silver level PTC partner based in Watford and the very first to bring you the new release of Mathcad Prime. Let's go to the agenda. Okay, so on today's agenda, we're going to be talking about what Mathcad is. We'll also be looking at some important updates about Mathcad 15 and Prime 7. And we'll also be looking at some of the newest features in the new release of Prime 7. And there's going to be an opportunity for you to ask questions. So in the Q&A session, we'll answer them at the end. And we'll also give you our contact details if you have any further queries about Mathcad 7. Thank you very much. I'll pass it over to our solutions engineer, Mushin Ali. Thank you.
Morning, everyone. And thank you very much for that introduction, Kola. I hope we can all start off the day with a good informative webinar about the new release that PTC have mentioned for Mathcad Prime. So the new release that has come out is Mathcad Prime 7. So let's begin. The first thing, a lot of our attendees, a lot of our customers are already Mathcad users. But there are a few that still are looking into Mathcad and which Mathcad is for them or whether Mathcad is for them at all. So let us try and explain what is Mathcad first of all. So it is essentially a digital engineering notebook. So where you would typically do your hand calculations for your designs, this digital engineering notebook will allow you to calculate, store them, monitor them, and even manage your design intent. So this works really well with CAD software, specifically Creo, as it is a PTC native product. And it allows you to manage your design intent. It also works well with PLM systems so that it follows, there's traceability and it follows through with your whole design process where you can see what's going on with that design. And specifically, again, another PTC one would be Windchill that it works well with, but it can be integrated into other systems. So what else do we know about it is that it's got a very powerful math engine, so it can carry out all your calculations for you, even complex ones. It has good visual representations that you can create to, see data in a different way. You can have 2D plots, 3D plots, any contour plots, and many more. It is a very easy to use software and would make life much easier for your engineers being able to follow it through the whole product lifecycle. So the key thing about why we are holding this webinar is because we have a very important update for all our existing and prospective customers about PTC Mathcad. So currently, the two most popular ones are Mathcad 15 and Mathcad Prime 6. And what PTC have announced is that they will move Mathcad 15 and all Mathcad Prime versions, so that is 1 to 6, they will all move to end of sale at the end of this calendar year. So what does this mean? This means that in the new year, January the 1st, 2022, there will no longer be any subscription renewals or any licenses sold that are Mathcad 15 or Mathcad Prime versions 1 to 6. And not to worry, PTC have already come up with a solution for you, which is the new Mathcad Prime 7, which is released now. It was released March the 9th. So it is already, it's all being distributed and sold right now. So this new Mathcad Prime 7 that is out, this will be the only supported version in the new year. And we all know there are critics about moving from Mathcad 15 over to Mathcad Prime, but I'd like to try and assure you that here are some acceptances that go through from Mathcad 15 to Mathcad Prime, especially Prime 7, listed here for you. So you get your 3D plot features can come across, any in-document hyperlinks and your customization of unit systems and textiles. There is also a new symbolic engine which is cleaner, easier to use, and has a new mathematical engine, a more powerful mathematical engine for you to carry out your calculations. But one thing we want to highlight to all customers is that there are risks of remaining on the older version, Mathcad 15 or Mathcad Prime versions 1 to 6. There will no longer be any more software updates. So there will not be any bug fixes, no security patches or software enhancements. So that means if you do remain on the old versions, as your computer system progresses, you can see right now it's only supported on Windows 10. So as technology progresses, this Mathcad may be left behind and may no longer be usable in the future for you, which is why we highly recommend for you to move over to Mathcad Prime 7. And that's what we are here for. We are a PTC partner. We are here to help companies that are looking to utilize PTC products such as Mathcad to help you get your things across. So we will go through the process of how to move from Mathcad 15 to Prime, and then to check whether, or to assess your functionality, if anything is affected at all when you move your work over from 15 to Prime. So let's get into the main piece about what today is about, which is the new version. What's new in it? What does it entail? What's different? So Mathcad Prime 7, it has some new functionality introduced. So you have new combo box input control. So this can be placed anywhere in your calculations. A new key thing, which is the standalone converter, which we'll talk about later. Symbolics enhancements. You have a UI enhancements and a lot more API guides to help you work. And there have been added some bug fixes. And we do have a video coming up for you shortly to show you these in action, how it works, a bit like a demo. But one thing I wanted to mention was the standalone converter. A lot of people were put off by moving from 15 to Prime because it required you to have two licenses, your Mathcad 15 and the Prime license, running at the same time. One is a license cost, two is a computer cost, asking your computer to do quite a bit of work. But now with the new Mathcad Prime 7, these have been met, these problems have been solved. What they've introduced is a standalone converter that is integrated in Prime 7 itself, which means once you have Prime 7, you can bring in your worksheets from Mathcad 15 or any older ones and convert it to the Prime versions. And the converter is more accurate now, keeps your work as you expect it to be. So let us go in to the video we have for you, which will go through and show you the new functionalities in Prime 7. I hope you guys enjoy it.
The Mathcad Prime is the industry standard for engineering mathematics software, enabling you to solve your most complex problems and share your engineering calculations. And with PTC Mathcad Prime 7, engineering calculations just got better. This release introduces key enhancements in the areas of symbolics, documentation, and usability. Start with easy conversion of your legacy Mathcad worksheets to Prime 7. Using the built-in converter, you no longer need to install the legacy version of the application, saving you time and effort. Next, you can use combo boxes in your worksheet, and you can include them almost anywhere in an equation. Combo boxes allow you to control calculations in your worksheet with easy-to-create, comfortable-to-use drop-down menus of variable definitions. Mathcad Prime 7 also introduces numerous usability improvements, including refactored scroll and focus behavior, enabling you to clearly read and review Mathcad worksheets, the ability to remove major grid lines, and the option to save worksheets in PDF format. Mathcad Prime already includes an API that enables you to seamlessly integrate it with other third-party applications. To make Mathcad easier to use, an API guide is now integrated into the online help. This guide covers all the commands available in the API and is supported by downloadable examples you can compile and run yourself. Moreover, Mathcad Prime 7 fully embraces and improves on the new symbolic engine, first introduced in PTC Mathcad Prime 6. With this new symbolic engine, PTC can now rapidly update and enhance Mathcad Prime software in response to customer feedback. We've already made over a dozen such improvements. Mathcad Prime 7 features key documentation and usability improvements, along with numerous customer-driven enhancements to the new symbolic engine. Mathcad Prime 7. Bring your engineering notebook and calculations to life.
Okay, so that was it for the video. We've kept it short and sweet. We are leaving room for questions. If you do, after seeing this webinar or before this webinar, have had any questions you'd like to ask us, then please do go ahead, use the Q&A function that we have enabled and ask away your questions, and I'll be here to answer. So we leave this open for about 5 minutes and then we'll get around to answering questions. So I'll hand it back over to you, Kola.
Thank you very much, Mush, for that. Very informative. So as mentioned at the start, there is a Q&A dialog box there, which you can write your questions. We do appear to have 2 questions already. Okay, thank you for that, Mush. And that is all the questions, the Q&A. So that concludes the Q&A session. So we'll now display our contact details. So thank you everyone for listening. Very informative webinar, Mush, much appreciated. Also, guys, if you have any further queries, don't hesitate to get in contact. I've got my email address there, as well as the telephone number. And this webinar will also be available later on the website. Thank you all for listening again, and enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.